Abundance. Abundance, abundance. Why are we continuing to feed our baby lies? That's the first thing I'm gonna ask, man. If you know this is a lie, why are you continuing to feed baby lies? Our babies. Making them think that they should be living with animals, people with animal DNA. So I just wanted to ask all so-called black people globally, I know we're not black, what is your identity? How do we identify life in nature? What does unity look like to you? So, I'm gonna need everybody to come in, tap in, and share the live. We're still talking about African American. We're still talking about titles that was made by draconians. Your fake royal family. This is the people who orchestrated this whole thing. And we're still fighting over those titles while 800,000 of our children are missing in America. And then worldwide, 8 million children are going missing. And we're steady regurgitating the same laws, the same regulations that animals placed on us to children. Why are we doing that? I just want to know why we doing that. So tap in and share the live. What is your identity? It's not African. It's not African American. It's not Native American. It's not Zulu. It's none of that. Those are just locked frequency words, sounds. What are you though? What is your DNA? And our DNA says we're neuromelanin. We're the sun. We're the genetic match of the sun. We're the biological match of the sun. That's who we are. Oxygen, nitrogen, helium, carbon. This is what we are. The same composition as the sun is what we are. So I just want my people to come up. The people who still believe in African, still believe in American, still believe in Native American, all of these titles that have done nothing for the developmental rate of our children's mental state and physical state. It has done nothing for them. Actually, more children have been missing as we've been arguing. The more we argue, the more of our children go missing, which is crazy to me. Worldwide, black babies are going missing. Worldwide, black babies' minds are being exploited. And we're not doing nothing. We just want to argue with each other online all day. So I just want y'all to come explain to me genetically, what is an African genetically? What is an American genetically? Can you explain that to me? That's not an identity. That's not who you are. That's just a title that you read on a document. But before there was even paper, how you store information is through your DNA. So I don't know how we're trying to follow documents when you're a walking biological solar system that matches the sun, can biosynthesize the sun, that undergoes black body radiation. You see what I'm saying? That undergoes ultra fast internal conversion. This is what we do under the sun. Everybody outside of so-called black people do not do that. They don't absorb the sun at all. So I just want to know. I don't know what Louisiana is. I just know Earth. I just know Mother Earth, and this is all her womb. That's all I know. So I don't know what Louisiana is. Just because there's a metal plate stuck on my mother's womb, on my mother's part of her land, that doesn't mean that that's what it's called. That's what was named that by the fake royal family that has been orchestrating this and have been doing rituals with our children. This is all in front of you, bro. So you're saying, boy, stop it, but You're believing in a clock, the calendar, all of these things that was man-made and was here to distort your frequency, so, and your consciousness. So how about you come up and just tell me your identity? How about you come up and tell me your identity? Because our identity is our DNA, which is neuromelanin. So I just want to know what is genetically, what is an African, and genetically what is an American, genetically what is a Native American, what does all these titles mean, genetically and biologically, which is biology is literally the study of life. Genetics is the study of origins. Our genetic makeup is literally nanodiamonds and interstellar gases, which is how stars are formed. So I just want to know. Show me those rituals. Show me that. Because while you saying that's happening, 8 million of our children worldwide, all black, all neuromelanated, are getting taken for the same thing. For the stem cells. For the red blood cells, which hold light. Which literally hold light. So how about you come up and tell me your identity? Because I don't even know what albino is. I know of genetics, and I know that the so-called black woman, she's the divine creator of all life, and she creates multiple shades of herself. And especially if you knew what happened to her, since you so focused on history, you would understand that she was raped. She has antigens now. They introduced diseases to us. This is how they infiltrated us. They didn't beat us with no weapons. They didn't beat us by over conquering us. They beat us with diseases because they're unnatural. So we're being unalived at the physical hands of eukaryotic cells, but their creator, this is their mindset that they orchestrated. This is their psychological will of what they're doing to us. And their creator is Pindar, Moloch, the fake royal family. They shapeshift. You see what I'm saying? All these people shapeshift. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, all of these people are shapeshifting into reptilians. And you can't deny that no other life forms exist on the planet when there's reptoid statues, petroglyphs all over the world of them showing you how they took our consciousness away from the body. And that's why you see on the dollar bill, you see that they took the eye away from the body, because the eye illuminates the body. So let's go. Somebody wanted to come up, and he doesn't even look neuromelanin. Let me see what you want to come up here for. All right, so what's your name?
My name is Ahmed.
And tell us the reason why you came up here, and what's your so-called race?
Arab. You said the eye left the body.
What is your purpose on coming up to this live?
I don't know. You were speaking about the eye leaving the body.
Are you neuromelanated?
Am I what?
Are you neuromelanated? Meaning that do you biologically identify with the planet? That's what I'm asking. What they will call so-called black people. What your people will call us so-called black people. But we not that. So I just wanted to know, are you that?
So what we call you guys, am I it?
Answer the question, man. I'm not here to play. Like, are you so-called black?
Am I black? No, I'm not.
Okay, then so what is your purpose for coming on to a live that's saying all so-called black people globally, what is your identity? This has something to do with our identity, and your identity don't match ours. Your DNA doesn't match ours. Your DNA is pheomelanin, sulfur, nitric oxide, and ammonia. And you have abnormal amounts of that due to the animals that you share genetics with. Cow, pig, dog, fruit fly, yeast. You share genetics with all of these different organisms that cannot naturally reproduce with each other.
Do you know
So
that? You know our
how
DNAs
is
are the
that?
same.
How that you should be figuring out How is that a reality more than the eye and the body? Because your eye and your eyes and your body don't even genetically match because they're parts from different animals. So you should
You
be
can
focused
get
on that.
DNA that's different from black and white people. You
We are
can compare
genetically and
them.
biologically different. We're two different organisms, two different species, and our phenotypes depict that. Our phenotypes depict that we are not the same species. You
Wow.
see what I'm saying? My
No, I
integumentary
don't.
system biosynthesizes the sun. Your integumentary system is allergic to the sun, which is called photodermatitis. You see, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
not everybody reacts. It's like we all may be allergic to some things, and you understand that, right? So
but
let's say,
how are you allergic to the energy, the
okay,
gas
can
giant
me and
up
you be
there that
allergic to the
gives
same
life to
thing?
all life on the planet? How are you
Can
allergic
me,
to that?
yeah, can me and you be allergic to something?
I'm not allergic to nothing on the planet other
Okay,
than
can me and you
eukaryotic
be
organisms.
allergic to the same thing, although?
You know that. Let me tell you something before I get you off the line, because this isn't really about you. So before so-called black people and your people came into contact chemically, biochemically, we were living without diseases, without no problems. We were living under the sun. We were grounding, levitating. We were doing everything under the sun. When
Yeah,
we
who
came
was
into
first, the black
hold
people
on,
or
let
the
me
white
finish
people?
talking. Why are you cutting me off? Literally, when we came into contact with y'all, we got introduced to zoonotic disease, hemolytic disease, red blood cell hemolysis, which is what I was just explaining, and what's it called, sickle cell. We getting hypertension. We're getting all these issues with the blood because we have all of these antigens and animal proteins that sit in our blood, weakening our lymphatic systems, which allow diseases to take place. That's what's going on. We're not.
Okay, who was created first?
If we were the same organisms, then 509 of our women and children and men wouldn't be unalived by y'all trying to procreate with them when we first met. So why would that happen? I don't see that
Who was
happening with
created
no other
first?
organ.
The white or the black?
I'm talking about genetics and you talking about colors. You talking about white and black.
Yeah, you're saying because the white people are the reason why, right?
No, it's not just white people. It's everybody outside of black people. Y'all all had a hand in our psychological and physical slavery. All had a
So you're
hand in
saying that
that.
the white and every other people created black people?
What'd you say?
How did the black get into white? How does the colors of skin tone become a white or black?
It never happened. We never went from haploids to diploids. You have to be asking, how did you come about? How did a pig and a fruit fly and a chimpanzee all get together to make your organism? How did that happen? How did that genetically happen? Is how you should what you should be asking. Because so-called black people and your people have no genetic ties to each
Okay,
other.
so how
We
were
are not
black
the
people
same
created?
organism. We are created from molecular clouds or the nebula or the womb of the universe. That's what we're created from. You're
Bro,
laughing, but you have animal DNA from different
how
organisms. So
old are you?
I'm confused. I'm confused. You have animal DNA. I don't. So
We're
are
mammals, are
you
we
laughing
not?
at yourself? I'm confused. What's going on,
Wait, so you believe we came from animals, right?
bro?
Come on.
I
You
already
think we digest
explained.
food? You think our hearts and our intestines and everything that have never came from an animal before or look like an animal? The cells of an animal, the way we use our brains, it just doesn't make any sense. For you to say that we ever came from animals. Um, I mean, you can say you came from an ape or whatever. Not me, brother.
I don't. My people don't come from animals at all. We don't have no animal
Okay, if you
DNA.
had to say one species, I guess you would to say, which one would look like an animal?
Everybody outside of so-called black people, you
Mm,
phenotypically look like
mm.
animals.
Oh yeah,
You
black people don't
phenotypically
look
look
like
like
animals, huh?
animals. You have porcelain skin like a pig. You
Brother,
have the same hair as a horse. You have the same face and
you
phenotype
have
as a chicken.
pores like us too. Don't
This
worry,
is a fact.
brother.
You can't
Wait,
show
your
me no
skin
one
isn't it
no.
made out of the same material as
If you want to talk,
white
bro.
people?
If you want to talk, we're gonna talk one at a time because us talking at the same time Now people can't hear us, and I can't even hear you.
Yeah, wait. So
So have
do
some
black
composure.
people not have the same skin as white people?
We don't have the same skin. Our texture is very different. If you look at the integumentary system and how the melanocytes produce on the skin, our the way our cells moves, it moves in orbits and cycles like planets and galaxy moves in,
No, it
which is the
doesn't. You just have a
Fibonacci
different
sequence,
skin
which is
tone.
sacred geometry, which is sonic geometry.
Your
This is
skin
how,
grows
see
hair
how you ask me a question and I try to explain it
because
to you?
you're a fucking dumbass. You're a
Yeah.
fucking
See, I gotta remove you. You see what I'm saying? This is how people with animal DNA react when the truth is being presented to them. People who have fragile walls built of deception and lies will always fall when truth is presented. So that's just what it is. You see what I'm saying? I had to take him off because he couldn't have a conversation. He's not a grown adult. So somebody else is coming up. Let's see if they can have an actual conversation, an actual civil conversation. So, Mr. Matrix, you can come up here too and shut me up intellectually. Don't try to do it through emotions and shit like that. Shut me up intellectually. Shut me up with science. That's what I want you to shut me up with. So go ahead, Beans. Tell us your so-called race and what brought you up here.
I'm black. Um,
Okay.
and yeah, I
What
just
is
want.
your identity? Can you answer those two questions for me, brother?
What is my identity? Also, I know my voice is deep, but I'm not. I'm not a man. Um, but what is your identity? I'm black. I'm African American. Um,
I apologize, sister. You said you're African American. Can you genetically explain that to me?
Genetically, no. It's a social thing.
So how can that be your identity when all life is identified through their DNA?
Yeah. Well, not necessarily. I think that like also we have to look at people's humanity, right? And the things that tie us together is our shared culture, history, foods, etc. Like that's also a part of what ties us together as black people.
No, what ties us together is electromagnetism. It's light particles with sound waves. That's what ties us together. That's how you're able to feel emotions, feel that's what your bones are for. So I just want
But,
to know.
so are you saying that like black
Go
people
ahead.
don't like aren't tied together by like their shared history, food, culture, or anything?
Though that's trauma. Everything that's we're bonded through trauma right now. We're living in hell. I don't think you understand. You see what I'm saying? We're living in a society where 8 million children are going missing, and we rather party and club over putting that into perspective. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to know, like, what culture is we sharing other than the European culture or the eukaryotic culture? Because before they came here, our culture was communicating through light. You see what I'm saying? Our culture was still the frequency of 432 hertz of creation. We were creating, we had harmony on the planet. We were circumnavigating the planet and being nomads and creating megalithic structures. So that was our culture. But you're saying our culture is 4th of July or Juneteenth or Black
I
History.
didn't. I didn't say
I'm just
Fourth of
saying. I'm
July. I
just
never.
listen. Just
Okay,
listen to
wait,
what I'm. Just listen to what I'm saying, though.
wait. But
Just
you putting that on me like I
I'm
said
not
that.
putting that on you. I'm putting
You
that on the people
did.
who think like that because
I
you think
didn't
like
say
that.
any of that.
So
Like
what
don't
culture
have a
can you explain?
conversation with me. Don't talk to
Okay, I'm
everybody.
talking. I'm talking to you because you are connected to
Okay,
everybody.
but I didn't say that.
Okay, so what culture?
So are you saying you said that? Like what? Like you know what I'm saying?
Explain.
Like if you're saying that, oh, you are connected to everybody, so you might have said that, or you're a part of like that makes you a part of it too. But like I mean that this is what I'm saying. Like
Can you explain to me the culture?
I'm talking about things that are social, right? Like
Like what?
black people are social people. Like that's just it is what it is, right? Like
That's because of a genetic
you
reason.
cannot deny also the history. I can if I can acknowledge, you know what I mean, like that you're saying, black people are tied together scientifically. I'm not sure. 100% about that. I do believe, though, spiritually, that like we are all connected by our being, right? But
Okay,
I,
so
I'm I'm
uh,
not sure what like your
I'm just trying to know because you're saying spiritually, but spiritually is science. Science and spirituality, they're the same thing. Spirit science is just explaining spirituality. It's explaining that feeling. It's explaining that bond.
not necessarily.
Okay, you're not letting let me finish. I'll let you talk, right? So it's explaining that bond that we have towards each other. So-called black people, we're like magnets towards each other. We're magnetism. If you see how the universe it expands through magnetism, and then electricity, which is a slower version of magnetism. So I'm just saying, yo,
So
what is
there's
the
no
culture?
social
No,
element.
no, no, no. Hold on. Marlo, I'm getting close, but it's like, can you tell me the culture that we share? Because you're saying we're social, but there's a genetic explanation for that. Everything that you're telling me is because of a biological and a genetic explanation. Every thought that you're telling me is causing a chemical reaction in your body to feel what you're saying is right or what you're saying is wrong or what you. So you left. See how he left? I didn't even drop him. He left. He left. I didn't drop him. So they want to talk about unity, but they don't really want to get into how their cells unify because that's how you're thinking. That's what you're maneuvering every day. That's how you innovate your body. So I'm just confused. If you don't have oneness within yourself, how can you be one with me? Hell nah. So yeah, but yeah, that was I don't even know what was going on with that. I don't know what was going on with that. I just wanted to put the shed light into that neuromelanated brain. That's all I was trying to do. Because man, we're lost. He kept saying culture, 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 and then I asked him, "What is the culture?" He says, "Yo, um, we're social people, you know? Like, bro, that's because of our genetics. That's because of how much sound we produce through our heart, how we feel deeper than any species on the throughout the entire universe. Because we are that. So I was just confused on what he was trying to say. But I just need my people to come up and tell me what is your identity? If it's African or if it's African American or if it's Australian, explain that to me genetically what that means and what is the composition of that. How does that help our children's brain develop? Does that help our children have hemisynchronization, or does that cause sulcuses in their brain to where they have split personalities and now they can be programmed easier for the system? They can be more docile for the system. So they can be, when they grow up, they docile adults and then pass it on to the children. That's the cycle that we've been going through. That's the cycle. It's genetics, psychology. Mr. Matrix, if you want to come up, just come up, man. You keep typing paragraphs in the chat. Just come up. I wasn't born, my consciousness wasn't born in Africa or any landmass. So I don't know what you're talking about. Those land masses don't exist. So you're suspended. Man, okay. I wonder why. And what, Lady Mob Boss, just come up. I'm really intrigued on why a lot of eukaryotic cells want to be on this live. Like they don't know that their genetic makeup is completely different than ours. Y'all talk about it amongst yourselves. Y'all talk about how the sun affects y'all amongst yourselves, and y'all don't want to say it around us because you know we're connected to the sun. You're not. That's it. So I'm just wondering why y'all want to try to come up on the live or type on under the live. We are all energy connected to eat Yahweh. Yeah, you live with that. You live with that. You're not part of the universal energy. I know that you're not part of the universe, so I don't know which energy you came from, but I do actually know which is the animals you splice with. That's the energy you have. Should be believing in them. Believing in them creators, the Pindar, the Moloch, the fake royal family. You should be believing in them. That's your people. That's your people. So just tap and share the live, man. Everybody want to be in the other lives about African American fighting, all this. Oh, I'm part of this land. This land belong to my grandmother. Da, da, da. But whole time, the whole planet belonged to us. But there's a eukaryotic organism on the planet. Asian, Arabs, white people, Dravidians, all of these different people on our planet. But we want to say we're not the same. That's something psychologically distorted with that type of thinking. You see what I'm saying? That's not beneficial to our people. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. That will manifest into something physically dangerous. You see what I'm saying? We absorb the whole light spectrum from infrared, light waves, microwaves, everything, non-local, local, we absorb it miles out. We absorb that. It's on us to tune our brain because our brain is already, you tune the frequency. But they got us tuned to one electromagnetic frequency of the light spectrum. But once you start to tune into different frequencies, you can start to see all the realities that's been right in front of you. That's why they keep dropping the multiverse movies and stuff like that. That's why they doing it. What do you mean? Butler. There's a lot of commotion in the chat. A lot of brothers and mothers of life in the chat. Can y'all come and tell us your identity? What is your identity? Yep, they doing experiments to understand our genetics, but they can't understand it to its fullest extent. But it knows its life. So they're trying to extend their life. They're trying to be immortal because they know we're immortal. Literally. Vampires. Yep. The sun, see, this is how you know. They're individual thinkers. This is where we got the individual. The sun loves me. So if the sun loves you, why doesn't it love the rest of your species? Why doesn't it love the 2.2 million people unaliving from photocarcinogenesis? Why is it not loving them? Why is it only loving you? And you don't even know you're undergoing chromosomal deletions. It's loving you, but it's deleting you. I'm confused. I guess. Hey, however you take it, man. However you take it. However you take that. I just know y'all don't absorb the sun whatsoever. Y'all not finna come up here and lie. Like, what? You have sunglasses. When we walk outside, we see 99% of your people with sunglasses, tans. They trying to hide from the sun. And you share genetics with them. So how? Explain that to me. Exactly. It's very rampant. It's very rampant. Y'all are unaliving each other at a mass rate, man. If you see how y'all eukaryotic cells are acting on it, y'all already taking it. Y'all are doing way worse than what so-called black people are doing here in America and Africa, where y'all doing each other way worse. So we have somebody coming up. It's always these eukaryotic cells, man. It literally says all so-called black people globally. So go ahead and tell us your so-called race and your name and why you came up.
Why, Adam, just talk about unity and like life in general.
So on the prompt it says all so-called black people globally. So why would you need within yourself to now come up and talk about unity when we're two different species? When you're off the app, I can't hear you. Nobody on the live can hear you. Exactly. I said, well, that's an interesting name, man. You see how they come up? Man. Exactly. That was another bot, like for real. Like they know that they're genetically different than us. The sun is separating us. The sun is removing my species from your species. We're being removed, completely detached. Crown chakra energy, pure purple energy. We're being detached from you. There's nothing y'all can do about that. Leave us alone. Why y'all always want to come around our space when we want to talk about unity amongst ourselves? But when we wanna act violent towards each other, y'all not stopping the fight. Y'all letting that shit go. But when we want to unify amongst ourselves, that's when y'all. So who are y'all, bro? Who are y'all genetically? Who are y'all? And your psychological state is connected to your genes. So who are y'all? He said we're the same species. Can you come up and explain that to me? Like a 5-year-old, like if a 5-year-old would be listening, will you just type that out, or would you come up and explain that and articulate yourself better? So just come up. Lisa K, I sent an invite because that's not true. We were not always reproducing with each other. So can you tell us your so-called name, your so-called race, and what brought you up here?
Okay, my name is Lisa, and I'm biracial. So, and I came up because we are the same species. It's just a genetic variation within a species. Dogs look totally different, but they're the same species.
But you're not biracial. You're not both of your parents. You're not 50-50. What is your mother's composition? Is she so-called white?
My mother is black. My father is white.
Okay, so you are a prokaryotic hybrid. You see what I'm saying?
No,
Your mother committed treason. That's what she did. She was never supposed to procreate with a genetic stranger that has animal DNA. That's
but
what happened. So
no, no.
so
For
you're
instance, a
so
horse and a donkey can't mate because they're two different species. When they do mate and produce offspring, their offspring is infertile. So any horse can mate with any other horse and produce fertile offspring because they're the same species.
okay.
If
Okay.
if
So go
if
ahead.
my mother was one species and my father was another species, even if they could produce offspring, if they were two separate species, the offspring would not be fertile.
Okay, so let me say this. We were not always so-called black people, and everybody outside of so-called black people, we were not always reproducing with each other. That shit is new. There was no mixed babies before the 12th dynasty, which is 4,000 years ago.
Okay.
So hold on. When
Why
we
is Beyonce?
when
Hey,
hold
but
on. Hey, I'm talking and you trying to talk over me, but when she was talking and she was spilling false information, you wasn't trying to say nothing. So just sit back and we're gonna get to you. That's an even crazy name that you have right there. You trying to knock me off my game real quick. So let me go back to her. When we first came into contact, when so-called black people came into contact with every other species that we're now procreating with today, we were falling unalive. We were 274,000 of our women and children were dropping unalive daily, which was 1.9 million a week. This is just from 1619 to 1919, which is 1.9 million a week. You see what I'm saying? And 509 million of us got diseases from y'all. Zoonotic disease, we got hemolytic disease, we got all of these different diseases that are not natural within our organisms. We had all of these different antigens surrounding our red blood cells, which is weakening our lymphatic systems and allowing these diseases to take place. When you see nature and you see an elephant mixed with an elephant, there's no diseases taking place. When you see a lion mixing with a lion, there's no diseases taking place. But when so-called black people start to mix DNA with everybody outside of so-called black people, you start to see diseases take place. You start to see sickle cell take place. You start to see hypertension take place. You start to see autopsies take place. So this is unnatural. So if we were two of the same organisms, if we were the same species, if we were all one human race, then why did 509 million of our women drop unalive
Okay,
across
I
all
can
continents?
explain that. Would you?
Explain.
Is that okay? Okay. So the reason why that happens is when you have genetic variations due to separations of population, then those populations are exposed to different pathogens, and they develop immunity to those pathogens. For instance, when the Spaniards came to the United States, the indigenous population was not did not have any immunity against certain pathogens that were developed in Europe. So when they came over there, they had no immunity. So they got populations got wiped out because they were not used to that exposure. Now, probably now that they have developed an immunity against it, now they survive the same things that they didn't survive 300 years ago. So it's all based on exposure. Same thing as far as appearance. If you take, if you took a population of Africans and put them in the north and left them there for 5,000 years, their environment is going to select for survival traits such as blue eyes. So we do agree that mankind started with Africans in Africa. However,
No,
when they
I do
migrate,
not. I do not agree with that.
okay,
Can I share something?
Hold on for 1 second. I asked a specific question.
and I
Why did
answered it.
no, you was telling me that a genetic variation happened because of immunity. The reason why these diseases
No,
even exist, because again, you don't see lions going to doctors. You don't see elephants going to elephant doctor.
no, they die.
They all are healthy. They all
No,
are strong because they are natural to the to the planet, and they
no,
eat according to their genetic makeup, and they procreate within their genetic makeup.
no.
So
It's just
listen. I let you speak, right? Listen. So the reason why diseases even occurs within so-called white people and everybody outside of so-called black people, the reason why diseases happen with y'all is because y'all are unnatural to yourselves. Y'all are incomplete dominant organisms, meaning that the percentages of animals that y'all share within your organism it differentiates. So when one white person is procreating with another white person, that's not two of the same organisms procreating. You see what I'm saying? So the mother can have 60% chimpanzee, the dad can have 30% chicken, the mom can have 60% mouse, the dad can have 10% yeast, and when they procreate, that child is incomplete dominance. So there's mutations and diseases that's gonna take place because it's not a genetic match. It's not co-dominant reproduction, and it's not prokaryotic reproduction because the eukaryotic means truly seeded nucleus, which means that the
Really quick.
genetic information from different organisms was truly seeded in there through electroporation, through hybridization, meaning all eukaryotic cell organisms are man-made, and they were all made by the fake royal family who shapeshifts into reptilians. And you can see the reptilians across the whole landmass of what they show us, and they have statues. They're all on petroglyphs, and they're showing
All
you
right. Can I
how
share
they
something really quick?
so that's the truth. So unless you can prove to me why we don't see 509 million elephants
I have
dropping
proof.
unalive. Hold on, let me finish. I'm gonna get to you. Unless you can explain to me why we don't see 509 elephants dropping unalive for procreating with each other, since they're the same organisms, why don't we see that in no other species but
I have
us?
proof. I have
Because
proof.
we have two different phenotypes. Hold on, brother. Oh, hold on, man. Hold on. I'm trying to talk right now because there's a lot of people here.
I
You
have
see what I'm
proof.
saying? And I want to make sure my message gets through. I want to make sure the light gets through. So that's what I was asking. And you was telling me about Europe and all of these things. I'm talking about when we first came into contact with y'all. You see what I'm saying? When we started to breathe in your microbiome, because there was no pathogens. The air that we used to breathe was all universal energy. It was prana. You see what I'm saying? It was electromagnetic energy. It was
I have
interstellar
proof.
gases making the hold on. It was interstellar gases making the whole planet shine. That's why you see the sky now is rainbow like. Those are interstellar gases. There was nothing deteriorating our organs or our lungs or nothing like that. It only started to happen because of when Yahweh got created through hybridization. So I wanted to make that clear, and we gonna get back to you. Or actually, you can respond, and then we gonna move to the next guest.
Oh, that's okay. I'm not gonna. I have to go back to work. So,
Oh,
all
okay.
right, thanks for your information. Bye.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to share something really quick.
All right. So can you, before you share that, can you tell us what's your so-called race and what brought you up here?
Puerto Rican mixed, 28.
All right. What is your mother?
Puerto Rican.
What does she phenotypically present like?
What is the what?
What does she phenotypically present like?
I don't know. World brown skin, dark skin, I guess.
All right. Go ahead. I'm gonna get back on that, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So most blacks, including you, are just the offspring of your white plantation master due to rape. I mean, you guys were all mixed
Okay. So if we're all mixed,
because of the master.
okay, I got you. So if we're all mixed, why don't we phenotypically present as animal DNA? Because that's
Because
not true.
yeah, after the master raped the black woman,
Hey, oh,
with
bro,
another black
I
guy.
gotta get you off, bro. I gotta get you off. I gotta get you off. You can't talk like that. You can't talk like that. You see what I'm saying? Because when they were raping us, I already explained this to y'all. They were adding antigens. 274,000 was of our women and children was dropping unalive. They thought our babies can have smecks at age of 2, 6 months old. These are the psychological state of these people. They thought they grape was literally legal. That was legal. They started making laws to constrain the so-called black man and woman. Y'all don't get it, but it's crazy, man. And these people keep coming up. It literally the title literally says all so-called black people. They keep coming up because they there's an interruption that's happening with their system when we unite. When we unite consciously and when we ascend consciously, it destroys their system. So go ahead, Chosen. Thank you for waiting patiently.
Oh yeah, I'm just here trying to gather information that maybe had a question.
All right, so on the board it says all so-called black people. What is your identity and what does unity look like to you? Can you answer those two questions for me?
I identify as black, but my mama is German.
Okay. So your mom is German and you identify as black, but your mother's phenotypically presents as white, so she has animal DNA. So you're an animal DNA complex cell organism. That's what you are. You're not black.
So you saying that black is not dominant enough to override all those genes?
No, I'm saying that the mother's genetics always rules. The X chromosome always rules when it's creation involved. That's what I'm saying. The man's sperm, only the tail end of the sperm sparks the egg. You see what I'm saying? The other rest falls off. Only the tail end. But the mother's genetics is what's constructing the suit. It's her that made the suit. So the suit that you're walking in is an exact representation of your mother's skin, and it's genetically proven that we have all men, all males, we have our mother's skin. We're wearing our mother's skin. So this is facts. So you're wearing a eukaryotic cell suit.
So if my
It's
baby
called
mama
animal
is
DNA.
is darker than me, why is all my kids light skinned?
It's not about darker or lighter. It's about what that darker or what that lighter is composed of. Is it composed of pheomelanin or is it composed of neuromelanin? It's not about dark, light, green. Yeah, it's about the composition. So when I'm talking about genetics, you need to go in depth of what you mean by that.
Uh,
What happened? You good, chosen? You got, you got nothing else to add? All right. Go ahead. Go ahead, chosen. All right, never mind. Go ahead, Rebel. Tell us your name and what brought you up here and your so-called race.
I'm white. From the United States. I support Israel 1,000%, but I'm a liberal Democrat. And I mean, just because you're a MAGA doesn't make you an automatic supporter of Israel. You have nut jobs on the right that like.
Okay. Yeah, we're not talking about none of that. We're not talking about your system. That's literally breaking down in front of our eyes. We literally see y'all genetics breaking down in front of our eyes. So we see everything breaking down. You see what I'm saying? All my people should be worrying about is ascending, learning the planet, learning yourself again, know thyself. You see what I'm saying? So if you're saying you're American, if you're saying you're African, if you're saying you're Zulu, if you're saying you're Solani, you're saying all of these things, can you genetically explain to me what that organism is? And how do they identify with the planet and the sun and the solar system? Because I can tell you how lions identify with the planet. I can tell you how elephants identify with the planet. I can tell you how our people identify with the planet, and we're a genetic match of galaxies, solar system, black holes. Our cells literally operate like black holes. You see what I'm saying? Electrons literally operate like miniature so-called black women. And they're the cosmic web holding all of the solids, liquids, and gases and other phases of matter. She is that. She gives birth to light. So I can explain that. So can you explain to me, how are we humans? How are we Native American? How are we, Zulu, African? All these different titles that was given to us that have no universal place in the cosmos. That doesn't exist. That frequency doesn't exist. So can you come up? Can any of my brothers or my mothers of life? There's a panel open. I don't want to keep talking to eukaryotics all day. I want to exchange energy with my people, because that's how the shift happens. That's how harmonic convergence happens. That's how quantum coherence happens. You see what I'm saying? We're quantum entangled, but let's step up to quantum coherence, which is unity of consciousness. Let's step up to that. Let's do it for our children. 800,000 children go missing. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna put something on the board real quick, explaining what's going on. Hold on, brother. I just wanted to show people this real quick. I just wanted to show this. Hold on one second, y'all. All right, what does it say right there? 800,000 children a year in the United States go missing. And I want y'all to read that, because they're not gonna let me read that and keep the live going. So I want y'all to take a moment and read that. I know the words is a little too big, but y'all can make sense of what they're saying here. You see what I'm saying? And I just want you to think, my people, why does so much of our people go missing, and their bones, their organs are missing in their hospitals, they're being broken in their hospitals, but yet we focused on one eukaryotic organism that shot another eukaryotic organism. We're worried about that. We're crying over the internet about that. But this is happening to our babies by the fake royal family, the Rothschilds, the Rockefeller, Elon Musk, all of these people who have networks underground snatching our children. So I just wanted people to read that. Hope y'all knowing what's going on. Hold on for a second. I'm finna get back. All right, go ahead, Breezer. Go ahead and
Bruiser, like bruise with an E
Bruiser.
on bruiser.
Okay, yeah. My fault, bro. Go ahead. Tell us your age. I mean, not your age. I'm confusing this with some other shit. Tell us your so-called name and your so-called race and what brought you up here. My fault.
Uh,
Go ahead.
so-called racist black. My screen name is Bruiser. I'd rather not go personal name on the internet, but you can call
All
me
right, got you.
Bruiser. It's my name. Yeah.
All right, got you, brother. Can you go ahead and answer those questions on the board for me?
All black people globally. What is your identity? What does unity look like to you? Um, my identity is an original is an original person of the original organism of the planet, the opposite of the wild man, Neanderthal abomination. Um, I clearly believe they've been genetically spliced and put on this planet as a parasite. We have broken some laws and codes that we're clearly paying for today. And the infiltration and the usurping of our crowns and our structure has got us in the position we are in today. Um, so I'm just the opposite of that. Everyone else is non-us or non-me. I don't want to speak for anyone else. And that's my stance on the topic.
Abundance, brother. Abundance, brother. Thank you for answering that question. Thank you for sharing your frequency. That was very powerful. You see what I'm saying? And you keep elevating in that knowledge, man, because there's always more than what you currently see. You see what I'm saying? Abundance to that. And I want you to, can you answer what does unity look like to you then?
I think unity looks like awareness and us understanding that what we come from, what our standard is, and it starts with that. And of course, I mean, we can go into the political and the monetary side of it, you know, circulating our money together, supporting each other. But on a spiritual level, I think it just starts with awareness and knowing our position on this planet and knowing that we are the creators of all. I think once we get that established within our generations, I think we'll work out of this rut that the so-called black man is in.
Oh man, that was powerful, brother. And I like how you said our generations because that's our future, our children. You see what I'm saying? Once we have a great connection back with the youth and the elder and everybody in between, that's how we elevate and that's how we have consciousness. You see what I'm saying? So that's
Absolutely.
abundance to that, brother. Did you have anything else to add before I move on to the next guest? I am gonna rotate back to you though. So did you?
Yeah, I had a question for you because I'm loving your content, and I don't. It's kind of a little bit off the beaten path, but I just wanted to know, what do you think we did when we created this parasite, and was it obviously we did it because we were the only ones here, but
Oh
what led us off?
no.
Yeah, I want to hear your take on that, brother. That's why I'm here.
Okay, yeah, okay, my fault. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you know, I hear stories of Jacob Yakub and the scientific thing. I hear stories, all these alien stories. I just want to know when did the shift happen in your opinion, and how did it happen, and what mistakes, if any, did we make?
Okay, so I just want you to know this first and all, we did not create this species. There's multiple other intelligent life forms on the planet than your scientist admits. Let me just keep that clear. So, these Yakub just means that when you search up the etymology of Yakub, because these people who enslaved us, they're poets. You see what I'm saying? They're poets. They're into literature, linguistics. This is their game. And what's it called? White people, Asian people, all these people are just physical pawns to do what they're meant to do. So Yakub just means subplanter. You see what I'm saying? Which means